Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. We have a ruling in one of the discovery disputes related to the Lively versus Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer matter, and this involves Blake Lively serving a subpoena on the private investigation firm called Sourced Intelligence that was used by Bryan Freedman's law firm. Blake had filed a motion to compel because obviously the firm did not want to produce documents in response to that subpoena. If you're not familiar with what's going on with this subpoena, I'll read really quickly about why she had tried to subpoena their firm. And remember, Blake Lively went kind of apeshit, trying to assume 107 content creators and social media users, as well as Bryan Freedman's law firm, among others, like the agency that created the lawsuit website for the Wayfair parties. And the agency did actually have to respond to that subpoena. They produced the text messages or signal messages, whatever it was, between them and Wayfair for the production of that website. And it's actually quite embarrassing for Blake. You can see behind the scenes that the Wayfarer parties, including Jamie Heath, were trying to get their side of the story out in a way that was not theatrical, presented the evidence in a correct way, and said to leave well enough alone when they had criticism from crazy people online in response to that. But here's what Blake Lively said about her subpoena to Sourced Intelligence. Since the Lively action began, Miss Lively has issued substantial discovery to uncover the tracks of this no fingerprints campaign by identifying and obtaining evidence from the Wayfarer Party's network of agents who have participated or are currently participating in the campaign. This is so stupid, dude. This lady has subpoenaed so many people, accusing them of being agents of some sort of campaign. She recently dropped Perez Hilton's subpoena after the ACLU agreed to get involved and represent him. And she immediately ran away when anyone from the content creator's subpoenas fought back and said, no, you don't have a right to violate my privacy. But sure, everybody's an agent, I guess. Couldn't be that people just don't like you. One of these agents may be Sourced Intelligence, a private intelligence and consulting firm. Counsel for Sourced Intelligence, Liner, Freedman, Tatelman, and Cooley, which notably is the same law firm that represents all of the Wayfarer parties, admits that Sourced Intelligence was in direct contact with Bryan Freedman, one of Liner's named partners and the lead attorney for the Wayfarer parties, whose intimate involvement in the underlying dispute appears in the pleaded allegation in January 2025 and ran reports for the Wayfarer parties in connection with this litigation. Well, reports! And? Source Intelligence's documents and communications are plainly relevant to the action. How? How is it relevant to your action? Aside from conceitedly working with Freedman's firm for the benefit of the Wayfarer parties and now being represented by them, Source Intelligence publicly markets itself as an expert in reputation management with a specialty in digital erasure, including wiping metadata and official documents from online repositories. And? Did you not hire people for reputation management? I'm pretty sure you did. She's just accusing anyone and everyone of doing something nefarious so that she can violate everyone's privacy and desperately try to find someone to go scorched earth on because she is not doing well. Sourced Intelligence also claims expertise in scanning all corners of the web, providing a tailored action plan to mitigate critical vulnerability and exposures discovered, and scanning the furthest reaches of the internet, including the deep plus dark web, allowing clients to stay one step ahead of their adversaries. Yeah, none of that is like a crime. Using those services, that's not evidence of any actual wrongdoing. But hey, you've pushed people's boundaries further for a lot less, so go on, I guess. To date, Sourced Intelligence has not denied that it was retained to provide services to the Wayfarer parties or that it has communicated directly with Liner about reports it ran for the Wayfarer parties. Even so, Sourced Intelligence, through the Liner firm, has refused to provide any information about what kind of information is in its mysterious reports. Because you're not actually privy to everything. Some things are none of your fucking business. But Blake Lively refuses to accept that for an answer. I'm sure she would throw an absolute fit if people tried to get the same information related to her that she is to the Wayfarer parties. Anyways, this case was kicked over to the New York court, and Judge Liman has now issued a ruling on this motion to compel. Rule 26 governs the scope of discovery. A party may obtain discovery regarding any non-privileged matter that is relevant to any party's claim or defense and proportional to the needs of the case. The party issuing the subpoena must demonstrate that the information sought is relevant and material to the allegations and claims at issue in the proceedings. Lively has not demonstrated that Sourced Intelligence is likely to have non-privileged information relevant to any claim in the underlying action. The basis for Lively's current request is that Sourced Intelligence was purportedly involved in an alleged online smear campaign against her and retaliation for her claims of discrimination. Lively, however, has proffered no facts to support her suspicion that Sourced Intelligence was involved in the conduct she alleges to have been wrongful. She states only that one of the agents who participated in the alleged smear campaign may be Sourced Intelligence, and that Sourced Intelligence may have been engaged in the same type of online activity this court has already held is not privileged or protected. Mere speculation cannot support discovery. Well, nice to finally hear that. Lively further asserts that sourced intelligence was retained by counsel for the Wayfarer parties for the benefit of the Wayfarer parties, and that sourced intelligence specializes in reputation management and digital erasure. But sourced intelligence has submitted a sworn declaration from its founding partner that it was engaged by counsel for the Wayfarer parties only in late 2024, that it was asked to perform investigative services regarding certain persons or companies it understood to be connected to the lawsuit Lively filed against the Wayfarer parties, and that it prepared investigative background reports and provided those reports to counsel. The founding partner specifically denies that sourced intelligence performed any services related to social media monitoring, influence operations, digital erasure, or web monitoring, or that it performed any services connected to the digital campaign alleged by Lively. Furthermore, the only request for production in the subpoena directly targeted at efforts to seed, influence, encourage, create, purchase, manipulate, boost, amplify, facilitate, or engage with social media is request number 6, and Source Intelligence has represented that no documents responsive to that request exist. The motion to compel is accordingly denied. Nice to know that mere speculation cannot support discovery, because she's been doing a lot of that. But she gets away with it because she withdraws and runs away scared anytime she might actually face any sort of consequences. Alright guys, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.